I need you to imagine yourself standing on a beach at night for a moment. The waves rolling in, black and endless. Above you, the stars glitter with mystery, but at least you can see them. But below your feet, however, lies an abyss, an alien world, darker and more unexplored than outer space. Here's a fact you should know. More humans have set foot on the surface of the moon than have descended into the deepest parts of our own oceans. It's a chilling thought when we ask ourselves, why is that so? When we look up at the sky, we dream of the stars, but when it comes to the waters covering 70% of our planet, we've barely scratched the surface of what goes on in the deep. And here's something even more startling. Scientists say we currently know more about the barren deserts of Mars than about the ocean floor of Earth itself. I'm Alex Turner. Today we'll journey into the terrifying and incredible mysteries of the deep oceans. From alien-like creatures that glow in eternal darkness, to sunken continents and sounds that science still struggles to explain, we'll dive beneath the waves into places humans were never meant to survive. Fact 1. More people have walked on the moon than explored the deepest oceans. When Neil Armstrong took his giant leap in 1969, the entire world watched. In the decades since, 12 astronauts have walked across the dusty lunar surface. Now here's the shocking comparison. Only a handful of people, fewer than those moonwalkers, have reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of Earth's oceans. Think about that. A place right here on our planet is less visited than a world nearly 400,000 kilometers away. Why? Because exploring the deep ocean is a battle against physics itself. The deeper you go, the heavier the water pressing down on you. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the pressure is more than 1,000 times what you experience at sea level. It's the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. No human body or machine can survive that without extraordinary engineering. This is one of the reasons why so much of our oceans remain untouched. Sending a probe into space is, in some ways, easier than sending one into the crushing blackness below our own feet. And so, our oceans keep their secrets. Secrets that remind us that we are strangers on our own planet. Fact 2. We know more about Mars than our ocean floor. We've mapped Mars in incredible detail. Robotic explorers have rolled across its dusty plains, sending back high-resolution images of craters, mountains, even hints of ancient riverbeds. We've catalogued almost the entire Martian surface. Meanwhile, back on Earth, over 80% of our ocean floor is still completely unmapped and unexplored. The irony is staggering. A lifeless, frozen desert millions of kilometers away is more familiar to us than the depths of our own blue planet. Why? Again, it comes down to difficulty. Sound waves and sonar can only tell us so much. Satellites struggle to penetrate the murky veil of the deep, and the ocean itself is in constant motion. Currents, pressure changes, and storms all conspiring to make exploration nearly impossible. Some researchers say mapping the oceans would cost as much as sending humans to Mars, while others argue it would be even harder. And yet, within that darkness lie mountains taller than Everest, trenches deeper than the Grand Canyon, and ecosystems stranger than science fiction. Some scientists believe that an entire unknown species, perhaps even thousands of them, await our discovery. In other words, the largest habitat on Earth is the one we understand the least. Fact 3. The strange inhabitants of the deep sea. If you were to descend past the reach of sunlight, down into the twilight zones of the ocean, you would enter a realm that feels more alien than earthly. Here, in the cold and crushing dark, life has adapted in ways that defy imagination. Many creatures create their own light, glowing like living lanterns in the abyss. Scientists call this bioluminescence, a chemical reaction within their bodies that allows them to flash, glow, or pulse with color. Some use this light to lure prey into waiting jaws, others to signal mates across the blackness, and some, like the deep-sea shrimp, even use bioluminescent clouds as a kind of underwater smokescreen, dazzling predators while they make their escape. The conditions here are brutal. Temperatures hover just above freezing. The weight of the water could crush a human submarine if not reinforced like a fortress. And yet, life persists, not fragile but ingenious. Consider the zombie worm. When a whale dies and its body drifts to the seafloor, these worms appear, feasting not on flesh, but on bone. They bore into the skeleton, extracting nutrients with the help of symbiotic bacteria. It's a haunting reminder that in the deep ocean, nothing is wasted. Death feeds life. Every discovery in these depths feels like science fiction. A fish with a transparent head, its eyes pointing upward like telescopes. A squid that flashes in rainbow colors. Creatures with jaws that unhinge to swallow prey larger than themselves. And yet, for every species we've found, countless more wait in the darkness, still unknown. Fact 4. The Mariana Trench. The ultimate symbol of the ocean's mysteries lies in the western Pacific. The Mariana Trench. It is the deepest known point on Earth, an underwater canyon plunging nearly 11 kilometers down. To put that into perspective, if Mount Everest were dropped inside, its peak would still be buried more than 2 kilometers beneath the waves. The trench is so vast, so extreme, that it seems almost beyond human comprehension. And yet, we've only touched it briefly. The first human descent was in 1960, when Jacques Picard and Don Walsh reached the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point of the Mariana Trench, in a metal sphere barely strong enough to endure the pressure. For a few short hours they sat in silence, hearing the groaning of steel as millions of tons of water pressed down on them. Decades later, filmmaker James Cameron made the same descent alone, capturing the trench in high definition for the first time. Since then, only a handful of expeditions have followed. In total, fewer people have visited the deepest trench on Earth than the International Space Station in orbit. What's even more astonishing is what we've found there: microbes living in the sediment, thriving in conditions once thought impossible, strange amphipods like tiny crustaceans, living at depths once believed to be barren. And yet, the trench remains mostly a blank space on our maps, a place where pressure turns water into a near-solid wall, where sunlight never penetrates, and where every meter deeper feels like stepping into another world. The Mariana Trench is a reminder. Our planet still hides realms as mysterious as any distant star system. We don't need to look outward to find the unknown. It's already here, beneath the waves. Fact 5. The mysterious bloop sound of 1997. In the summer of 1997, scientists from the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration were listening. They had an array of underwater microphones called hydrophones, scattered across the Pacific, meant to track the sounds of the deep, whales, submarine movements, volcanic rumbles, and then it happened. A noise unlike anything they had ever heard. A low, resonant, almost organic sound that rose in pitch and carried for thousands of kilometers. It was so loud, in fact, it was picked up by sensors over 3,000 miles apart. The scientists simply named it the bloop. For years, the mystery grew. Was it some kind of undiscovered leviathan, a creature larger than any whale, or something geological, perhaps the groaning of tectonic plates in the deep? The speculation fueled imaginations around the world. Eventually, researchers suggested that the sound likely came from massive icebergs breaking and cracking as they drifted across the southern oceans. A plausible answer. Yet even today, some argue that the explanation doesn't perfectly fit. The frequency, the organic quality of the sound, remains an echo of uncertainty. The bloop reminds us of how much we don't hear, even in an ocean alive with sound. Whales sing across continents, earthquakes rumble through trenches, and maybe, just maybe, something vast and unknown still stirs beneath the waves. Fact 6. Shipwrecks, lost treasures, and vanished vessels. The ocean is not only a wilderness of nature, it is also a graveyard of human history. By some estimates, there are over 3 million shipwrecks resting on the seafloor, wooden galleons that carried gold and silk, warships sunk in battle, modern freighters lost to storms. Each wreck is a frozen moment in time, sealed away by salt and darkness. Some lie only meters below the surface, easily discovered by divers. But others rest miles down, unreachable except by advanced submersibles. And among them are treasures like cargoes of silver, bronze statues, and an entire lost navy still waiting to be discovered. But shipwrecks hold more than riches. They carry mysteries. The Mary Celeste, found adrift with no crew, her cargo intact. The USS Cyclops, a massive US Navy ship that vanished in 1918 with 309 people on board, never found. Countless fishing boats, trading ships, and submarines, all swallowed up by the sea without leaving a trace. Every year, storms reveal new wrecks along coasts, while deep-sea explorers occasionally stumble upon skeletal remains of vessels thought lost forever. Each discovery is like opening a time capsule. And yet, for every wreck we've found, thousands more remain hidden. The ocean has a way of keeping its secrets. It buries steel and wood, flesh and bone, beneath shifting sands and crushing pressure. The stories of those who sailed across it are written not in books, but in the silent hulks resting far below. Fact 7. A lake beneath the sea. I know it sounds impossible and strange, but yes, a lake beneath the sea exists. In the Gulf of Mexico, in the Mediterranean, and in other deep places, explorers have discovered what are known as brine pools. Imagine diving into the ocean, drifting down through the blue, and suddenly before you appears another shoreline, another body of water shimmering and rippling at the bottom of the sea. This lake is not an illusion. It is a water so saturated with salt that it forms a distinct layer, heavier and denser than the ocean around it. The result is haunting as waves lapping against a shore, currents within currents, a true sea within a sea. But here's where it gets stranger. Brine pools are deadly. Their salinity is so extreme that most life cannot survive in them. Fish that wander in often never return, their bodies preserved in the toxic brine. And yet, just at the edges of these pools, life thrives. Mussels, shrimp, and strange microbes form communities unlike anywhere else on Earth, living right at the border between life and death. Scientists study these brine pools because they may resemble conditions on other planetary moons like Europa or Enceladus, where salty oceans might hide beneath icy crusts. The creatures clinging to the edges of Earth's brine lakes could be a glimpse of how alien life survives elsewhere. It is a place that feels wrong, otherworldly, a reminder that even here, on our own planet, we can stumble upon landscapes as strange as any science fiction. Fact 8. Zealandia, the hidden submerged continent. We all grew up learning there are 7 continents. But what if that isn't the whole story? In 2017, a group of geologists formally proposed recognition of an 8th, called the Zealandia, a continent almost entirely hidden beneath the waves. Stretching across 5 million square kilometers in the southwest Pacific, Zealandia is larger than India. Yet more than 90% of it lies underwater, its peaks forming only the scattered islands we know as New Zealand and New Caledonia. For millions of years, Zealandia has remained concealed beneath the ocean, but with modern mapping and drilling, scientists revealed that this is not just a collection of islands, but a unified continental crust, once part of the ancient supercontinent called Gondwana. Its discovery changes how we view Earth's surface. If an entire continent can remain hidden in plain sight beneath the sea, what else might the oceans be concealing? Some call Zealandia the lost continent. Not lost in legend like Atlantis, but lost to the depths of geology and time. Its existence reminds us of how incomplete our knowledge of the planet still is. We may look at a map and believe we've charted every corner, but beneath the oceans, Earth can still surprise us with entire worlds we never knew were there. Fact 9. Deep sea gigantism. In the deep ocean, size takes on strange dimensions. Creatures that are small at the surface can grow to monstrous proportions in the abyss. Scientists call this the deep sea gigantism. The giant squid, with eyes the size of dinner plates, the Japanese spider crab, with legs stretching 4 meters across, isopods distant relatives of pill bugs that grow as long as a house cat. Why does this happen? Theories vary, as some say the cold slows metabolism, allowing creatures to grow larger over longer lifespans, while some say the crushing pressure may favor bulkier bodies. Or perhaps, in a world of scarcity, size offers survival, because bigger bodies store more energy, move more efficiently, and intimidate predators. Whatever the cause, these giants add to the sense that the deep sea is not just another part of Earth. Instead, it is a separate realm, governed by rules we are yet to fully understand. A place where familiar life twists into forms that feel unearthly. Fact 10. Endless darkness and crushing pressure for alien life, where humans cannot survive. Imagine floating at the bottom of the ocean. There is no light. The weight of the world above presses down on you with unimaginable force. Temperatures hover near freezing. By all logic, this should be a dead place. And yet, it is alive because some organism thrive here. At hydrothermal vents, cracks in the Earth's crust spew mineral-rich water as hot as molten metal. Here, in conditions too extreme for human survival, entire ecosystems thrive. Giant tube worms, blind, shrimp and heat-resistant microbes live in a world that does not rely on sunlight, but on chemistry. Instead of photosynthesis, these creatures use chemosynthesis for transforming toxic minerals into energy. It's proof that life is tougher, stranger, and more adaptable than we once believed. If creatures can live here, under pressures that would crush submarines, then life might also thrive in the hidden oceans of Europa, Enceladus, or beyond. The deep sea is not just an alien world, it is a mirror, showing us what life might look like on distant planets. And so, as we surface from our journey, we're left with this realization that the greatest mysteries do not always lie in the stars above, but also in the depths below. The ocean is at once a cradle of life and a graveyard of history, a reminder of how little we truly know. Perhaps that is the most humbling truth of it all, since we live on a planet we do not yet fully understand. And maybe we never will. But every mystery beneath the waves invites us to look deeper, not just into the ocean, but into the unknown itself. If you enjoyed this journey into Earth's hidden oceans, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow for more incredible discoveries like this one. Because the mysteries of our world are far from over, and the next one might just be waiting in the dark.